CAGR, Compound Annual Growth Rate. Compound annual growth rate shows the rate of return of an investment over a period of time. It is expressed in annual percentage term and calculated with the help of three inputs, that is beginning value of investment, ending value, and time period expressed in year. Advantage of this is it gives a clear picture about an investment's long-term rate of return, and also helps in comparing the investment with small characteristics. Disadvantage of this is it dampens the perception of volatility, and that implies that an investment grows at a constant rate annually and is subject to manipulation. The compound annual growth rate can be calculated in Excel in many ways. Here we'll be discussing a generic CAGR formula and functions like RRI, power function, rate function, and IRR function to calculate CAGR. First, we'll see generic CAGR formula. This is the generic formula, okay, and let's understand this with an example. Here period is given, here years 2019 to 2024 is given, and here revenues are given. So based on this data we are going to calculate CAGR. So here is equal to end value, which is this, divided by beginning value, this, then 1 divided by number of years. Here number of years is 5 minus 1. So this is the formula, and just applying the formula we got the answer. And so CAGR is for this problem is this 28.47. So here there's another way of calculating this also. Here it is same as that of this formula, but here number of years, instead of writing number of years, here we are going to define the row references. Okay, so let's see how to do it. So here we'll write is equal to, inside the bracket, end value divided by beginning value, then here 1 divided by, now row reference we have to give. So he will write here as a row, and then we'll give minus, then again row reference of the first beginning value. Now we'll close the bracket, minus 1. So see, we got the same answer. So here in this formula we have to enter the number of the years. We should know the number of year and we have to enter it. And here in this formula we calculate the number of years automatically by defining the or by entering the cell reference. So this is how we calculate a CAGR using generic formula. Now we shall understand IRR function. The Excel IRR function is not exactly designed for calculating compound growth. Okay, so we need to reshape the original data as follows. Here what we have to do is beginning value of investment should be entered as a negative value. So the first value we have to enter it as negative value, and the ending value of investment is a positive number. So ending value should be a positive number. All the intermediate values should be 0. So all the other values you make it as 0. And then now we'll use the formula. This is the formula. Is equal to IRR at end range. So here let's write IRR. Now we'll enter the entire range from here. So we got 28.47. So we have calculated CAGR by using IRR function. Okay. So now we'll use power function to calculate CAGR. So this is the formula. Okay. So now we'll substitute the formula here. So here period of time period is given, here years are given, revenue is there. Now we'll use we'll enter this data in this formula. So here it will be is equal to power inside the bracket end value divided by beginning value. Now we'll put comma and we'll write 1 divided by number of year. Here number of year is 5. So number of year is 5. Now we'll close the bracket minus 1. So 28.47% is the form CAGR value which we obtained using this power function. Now here instead of number of years we can also give cell reference to get the year automatically calculated. Okay, to calculate the number of years automatically we can use here row reference instead of this. Okay, so here is equal to, we'll write power inside the bracket ending value divided by opening value comma 1 divided by, now we have to write the number of years. Here we don't have a number of years, so we are going to calculate it in such a way that the number of years get automatically. Okay, so here we have to give cell reference. So first we write row and then cell reference of the ending value minus cell reference of beginning value. So cell reference of beginning value. So this is the beginning value minus 1. So we got the answer. So this is the way we use power function. Now let's understand how to calculate CAGR using rate function. So first let's understand what is rate function. Rate function means it returns the interest rate per period of an annuity. Now syntax is equal to rate uh, inside the bracket NPR, PMT, PV, FV, type and guess. NPR means total number of payment for annuity, that is number of period over which loan or investment should be made. This is a required argument and so you cannot omit it. Next is PMT. PMT is the amount of payment made each period. Suppose if you are omitting this PMT, then we have to include FV. Okay. Next is PV. PV is present value of investment and it is required and you cannot omit it. Next is FV. FV is the future value of investment at the end of NPR payment. If this value is omitted, then the formula takes on default value of 0. Next is type. Type is an optional function. It's an optional value that indicates when the payment are due. That is, if 0, it's the default. That means payment are due at the end of the period. If it is 1, which means payment are due at the beginning of the period. Guess. Your guess for what the rate might be. Here this is what is the rate might be. This is optional function. If it is omitted, it is assumed to be 10%. Now here in rate, how to use rate function to calculate CAGR, that we have to see. To turn rate function into CAGR, into CAGR calculation formula, we need to, we have to make the first term. What is the first term? NPR. You have to convert this NPR into N. Okay, we need this. Now next term here given is PMT. It can be omitted. Okay, so we'll just write here like this. Okay, and the third value PV can be taken as minus BV, that is beginning value, and fourth value FV, that is future value, can be taken as end value. So now we have to substitute this and get the result. Here one thing we have to remember is the beginning value BV it should be a negative number. Otherwise you will get error. You will get error. Okay. So now let's understand this with an example. Here time period is given, year is there, this is revenue. Now we have to enter the formula. Is equal to rate, inside the bracket we have to write n. What is n here? 5. Next we have to skip, we are omitting PMT, so we'll just leave it blank. Next is minus BV. Minus BV is the beginning value. Okay. Next comma end value, and then bracket close. So we got 28.47. So this is one more way of calculating a CAGR. Now we'll see how to use RRR function to calculate CAGR. Calculating CAGR in Excel by using RRI function. It returns an equivalent interest rate on the loan or investment over a specific period based on present value, future value, and total number of period. So what are the important argument here? Present value, future value, and total number of period. The syntax is RRI inside the bracket. This total number of period, comma, PV is present value, comma, FV is future value of investment. Okay, now let's see an example. Here we have taken the same example here. Now we'll apply the formula. So is equal to RRR function. This is RR function. So RRI inside the bracket NPR. This is NPR is number of years, which is N, and then PV is present value, and this is FV is ending value. So we got the answer 28.47. Okay, these are the few ways to calculate CAGR.